to build something better for the future. Our children and our children's children. Let go. I could talk about back in the day.
What's going on, B1 family? It's your boy Big Big. Welcome back to My Black Universe. We are here because we have a special guest, BX, the gatekeeper, coming out of New York, and she was letting me know some terrible news. These tethers are doing what they usually do. They're trying to find a way to erase us out of our history by tethering themselves to it and then remixing it and then saying we have no attachment to it and they created it. And so she said, hey, look, can I come on your platform? She's always welcome here. So B1 family, welcome our guest, BX the gatekeeper. Sister, take it from there.
Thank you, Vic. Thank you for having me. Thank you for helping me to spread the word of what's going on. So recently, I received a flyer of an Afro-Caribbean rodeo that took place on May 9th in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And then I remembered that the Kenyans were over there trying to line dance or some mess before I found out about the rodeo. So I said, let me go search TikTok and see what I could find. And sure enough, I was kind of happy it wasn't New York. You know, New York, we have the largest population of immigrants, even though we do outnumber the melanated ones. And I'm pretty sure if we broke down the Latinos by ethnic group, like us versus Puerto Ricans, we'll outnumber them too, right? But it's a proven fact we do outnumber the melanated ones. But what I found was a flyer for New York. So a brief history about New York is that our ancestors were emancipated technically on July 4th, 1827, and that came after a gradual manumission process. But on July 4th, all slavery within New York's borders was abolished, right? But they didn't want to celebrate July 4th. Some felt it wasn't their holiday, and mainly they wanted to avoid white supremacist violence to them on that day. Frederick Douglass later stamped them celebrating on July 5th and July 4th not really being for them, right? So July 5th, a lot of us, the party seasons, the summer seasons, the barbecue seasons, and so me personally, as a spiritualist, I venerate the ancestors on certain days. That means honor them, memorialize them, even cook a meal in their honor. But I found out the flyer said July 5th for this rodeo. And the rodeo was I Am Soca rodeo. So what the hell is that? And I go to their website and they said cowboy and cowgirl style meets Caribbean flavor. So I contacted the organization and I sent the screenshots to Vic, very professional, cited sources of how Black Americans created the rodeo culture. And we even have a Black rodeo club here in New York. I do remember my parents riding horses up in Pelham Bay in the Bronx. They had like a type of ranch style where we could go and ride the horses and stuff like that. So anywhere in this nation, rodeo and trail rides and stuff is our culture, right? It's more dominant in certain regions. But I think that what the Caribbean are doing is not only riding a trend, because our Southerners are making the rodeos look so good, the women and the men, right? And so for them, this is a way that they can economically exploit us because they're charging $50 per ticket for some of these events, okay? So I really can't get rid of all the Caribbean, but I can educate them and see how we're going to move forward, because in New York, the Caribbean has been here for 100 years and they've served time and time and time again to really do some egregious stuff to foundational Black Americans, like locking us out of key industries, locking us out of home ownership. They play a good, strong game of group economics. Meanwhile, we're looking at the Asians. We all say white people lock us out of stuff. But the Caribbean and now the Africans are also doing it. But they've been doing it all this time. So this to me is worthy to tell them July 5th ain't the day for that. And you cannot write us out of our history when it comes to the rodeos. We built that culture. Right? We fought for that culture. And everything in this nation we fight for. But they found a way to make money with it and kind of sort of, you could see the erasure happening. So I'll land there, Vic, and let you respond. If you're talking, I can't hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right. I noticed this. There's this thing going around where when it comes to Juneteenth and other Black American holidays, what foundational Black American holidays, they are literally saying, "Hey, yeah, we're going to celebrate. We're going to start infusing our culture into it. Get over it." There's this Haitian chick that's saying she's going to celebrate our holiday, but she's going to bring a Haitian dish. Like, no, no, you're a participant. You participate. You're not the curator. Our FBA family has already done that. The peach cobblers, the barbecue, the hot dogs, the hot links, the potato salad. We've already established what happens on these days. Is the best food for us? No, but it's a part of our culture. And the fact that they're like, hey, yeah, we're gonna celebrate, but we're gonna just come bring our stuff because we still feel like it should be flat blackness. It's a testament to how devious these tethers have been for decades. Like, okay, yo, we understand there was bloodshed for this, and we sorry it happened. Anyway, we're gonna bring. It's like what? It's like the audacity to think that you're supposed to just infuse your culture in there, knowing that the end game is okay. We're gonna keep stepping on that line, like Charlie Murphy used to say. Rest in peace to Charlie Murphy. They're habitual line steppers. We're gonna do a little bit here, and a little bit there, and a little bit more until we can force them completely out and then turn around and try to pull a fat Joe or something. Oh, yeah, well, it was 50-50. Because 50-50 would eventually became, well, we created it. Because that's the whole game is to say it long enough to where you can start telling new lies. If you say the lie long enough, it becomes the truth. And so they know these things. Like somebody mentioned before, I was looking on the broadcast. They're holed up in Tulsa. They're holed up in the DFW area. They're holed up in Houston, Chicago, certain parts of New York. They're holed up where we've had monumental successes, where we've had to fight back and overcome, and they're holding up there and trying to attach themselves to those great events that we've had to go through and where we fought back and we've overcame. Let's bring our stuff in and then start slowly, like you said, erasing us. That's really what it is. It's erasure. Hey, we need to get these folk out of here because they don't want to go back home. They don't want to look back at their past and say, hey, we've been a group of failures for decades. We haven't done nothing great. The Caribbean can't say they've done anything great since 1804. That's the last time they've had a really big win and done something great. Then immediately after that, they sold out, did treaties. It got put on paperwork, got put on child support, so to speak, with France. We have to stop this. And I'm glad you brought this to light because you have that link. So we can go ahead and put it in the chat so we can have B1 family sign the petition.
Oh, yeah, let me see. Hold on.
And if y'all are watching, if you can comment, I don't know if y'all in church or not, but if you can comment, because some of you, I need to make you mods. Some of you have been real consistent and you've been on it. Like Lee Gale, I need to make you a mod. You've been on it. You've been cooking with fire, sister. But yeah, that's sickening. It just speaks to the mindset. There you go, B1 family. Hit that link right there. Peace. Realize TV, what's going on with you? Hit that link. Sign. Our sister, she's on Twitch and she's on YouTube. All right.
Can I cut in for a minute? So I have one, and I have to grab the link, but the two that I dropped in the chat, the first one is addressed to Ma'am Dammy, who I call Ma'am Dummy, who stood on a national stage and said New York was built by immigrants, powered by immigrants, and will remain powered by immigrants. The disrespect was loud because at the protest for the Negro burial ground, where Ghana came, it was like, he was there. So who, if they not immigrants who was in the Negro burial ground, so why would you say that on the national stage? You know who our ancestors are. You know who built this nation, specifically New York State and city, right? He knows these things, but he chose to leave them out of the narrative. He gave a I want to say half-assed, excuse me, apology to a smaller podcaster. But the same way he disrespected them, he should be on the national stage apologizing because the descendants of those enslaved in New York are still here. I am one. If you know Sister Keisha from Thorough Black Talk Worldview, she's another descendant of those enslaved in New York. We do have Southern roots as well. So all this erasure is that. And if you look at the second one, I found out that some of our historically freedmen towns or cities have water problems, water infrastructure problems. The fiscal budget for 2027 is coming up, and we need to make sure that those towns have a portion of the budget because no freedman descendant, foundational Black American, however you identify, if your ancestors populated that town, built that town, they deserve valuable water. Now, I do have another one called Protect the Lineage. That's the one I have to run and get. Hopefully, I won't be kicked out of the live. But that one is so that people like Ghana, Yvette Clarke, AOC cannot tether on or vulture our reparations claim that it protects our 55K inventions. And I hear it's way more than that, right? They can't use our history. See, AOC didn't know who was Black in 2019, but all of a sudden she know who Black now when she want to tether on the Latinos and say they deserve reparations with us for mass incarceration. Like it's getting weird, Vic.
I'll be honest with you. They've been known. It's been that benign neglect, and we have been forcing them to deal with us. We've been in their space, pop up. Shout out to our brother Black Alpha. We do pop ups. I did a pop up on the store down there, in Memphis. Yeah, we popping up. It's pull up season. We pulling up wherever there's action. We gonna pull up. Y'all make sure y'all hit that link. Now I want to highlight this comment. Oklahoma has every type of rodeo: red dirt, cowboys of colors twice a season, all type of ethnicities, even YT at the black rodeo. We popping. But here's the issue: there was a cat, DJ Nick Hud. Was his name, sister, that you showed me?
That one is named Inversion, who had the Afro-Caribbean rodeo.
Yeah, and that was in Tulsa, which speaks volumes of why I think Tulsa didn't get nothing popping when a judge threw out our sister's claim for the race riots. When she threw that out with prejudice, when she dismissed that claim with prejudice, I was like, Tulsa needs to turn up. Tulsa didn't turn up, and I think I know why. I think it's a gang of tethers in there now, and they're running the yard, unfortunately. Because I was like, why Tulsa ain't on this woman's bumper? I think
Exactly.
because the energy is now shifted.
And what's sad is that they'll say us, we, our, we don't need, we need to move on from slavery, but they're not speaking against CARICOM or AU for that matter. And those are two agencies designed to get the Caribbean and the Africans their reparations and repair. They're totally unfair to us. Meanwhile, they ride off of the backs of our ancestors and the work that we are doing now. So I'm gonna grab the other link. Are you gonna show a video?
Yes, ma'am. So I want to show this Step Fetch Negro family. While we're doing this delineation, be careful, Negroes who like to entertain these other groups because they want sexual access, like this.
You the N-word lot, N-word this, N-word that, N-word please. I never use the N-word unless I'm watching the NBA and got money on it.
That's that. I'm trying to get some Asian cooch laugh. We got to watch the Negroes who are starved for interracial sex or what the exotic sex. Watch them Negroes because they'll come around us to appear Black empowerment and then they'll go and they'll lay up and run their mouth. These are the pillow talking Negroes. All right. As we start moving towards reparations, anti-Black hate crime bill, we got to watch the pillow talking Negroes and Negresses. We call them bed bugs and bed wenches for a reason. We got to watch that because as we're going through and we're kicking butt and we're letting these Asians know what it is and what it ain't, Some folk are still shout out to brother Black Alpha. He did a broadcast in Natural Tura. She went to a lot of these Asian spots in her area, and sisters were still in there. So this is the message going forward.
And let me come say this real quick too. If we don't call a boycott, a ban, we not even fucking with these people no more. And you take your black ass into one of their establishments and something happens to you, they racially profile you. Okay? They accuse you of shoplifting. They physically assault you. Or they kill your black ass. Do not call on the black community because we will not show up. Whatever the fuck happens to you, pick Migos. Okay? From here on out, when we all said that we are implementing a boycott and a ban, we not fucking with them no more. If you cross strike lines, don't even post a video, motherfucker. Don't even post a video. Because from here on out, from June 2026 and on forward, if your black ass get caught out there, your black ass gonna stay out there.
And that's the fact. That's the truth. I don't care, male, female. If we say, hey, this is the move going forward, this is, there we go, right there. Consequences for off-code behavior. That's what it is. We're gonna celebrate. Damn, they so. Oh my gosh, they got beat up, and that's crazy. Who want a barbecue? We finna celebrate because some of us within the community don't take us seriously. And the only way for them to take us serious is to show them that fat meat is greasy. It always has been. We are not saving nobody that's willingly kicking in the hardest nest. If you're gonna go over there with them folk, be over there. Once you, hey, what's that lyric? Once you pick a side, you gotta stay there. You gotta stay there. Man, no, man, you gotta understand, man. Yeah, man, you gotta let me back in, man. You know, I was tripping. We don't want to hear it. Once you cross that threshold, bro, you over there. We cool, we good. Man, but what I can do for the community, you could have been did it. You could have been did it. It's about transparency going forward. I let folk know what I got going on. I'd let the B1 family know yesterday I ordered something from AliExpress. That's the last thing I'm waiting on. I already paid for it. I already paid for it. It's here stateside. I ain't got to deliver. As soon as it get delivered, I'm deleting the app. I'm not ordering nothing else. Even though I can get supplies, I'm going to have to figure out which one of my B1 sisters can get what I need. Find some seamstresses. We going back in-house. Once I get what I've already paid for, cut that off, cut that off, cut that off, cut that off. All right, cool. Now I have to think and move within the community. Hey, in search of seamstress, in search of industrial this, that, and the third. Because we have it. We're not a monolith. We got people who do trades. We got people who are doctors. We got people who are nurses, dentists, pharmacists. We got folk who can just shout out to Louisiana, because you go to Louisiana, particularly Louisiana, them niggas know how to do a little bit of everything. They're gonna teach themselves how to do everything. I love it. There's a brother by the name of Rob Taylor, 504, New Orleans stand up. This brother, he's worked on Carlos Miller's vehicles. He's worked on Currency, the rapper's vehicles. He's worked on the gang of vehicles. I love watching his content because he taught himself how to do it. He taught himself how to weld. He taught himself how to rebuild motors and things of that nature. He's self-taught. I don't have the resources to go to school and go do it. All right, well, I'm just have to get a book and figure it out and get the tools along the way. And now he's working on high-profile vehicles. So we have the ingenuity. We have the know-how. We have the folk. We just got to utilize resources in-house. And BX, I believe this is the last link to let folks know.
Yes, it is. That's the one that's saying to stop the global appropriation of our reparations claim and that Africans and Caribbeans are not our voice.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. B1 family, hit these links.
I also kind of want to piggyback off of some of the things that you were saying. There is a call for seamstresses. So if you notice my last few lives on TikTok, because I'm not going live over there anymore, I'm just going to mod over there, but I'm bringing the conversation to YouTube, right? And one of my latest lives over here on YouTube was putting out a call to spiritual creatives, right? meaning our musicians and our seamstresses, like you said, our tattoo artists, our jewelry creators, because some of us want artwork, some of us want jewelry, and I found the perfect man. He's very artful, everything. He's just Pan African. I don't even know if he's lineage, but the artwork is beautiful.
Right.
And that's fine for people who want to go there, but I want stuff for us and by us, because we're a little bit different. Our needs are tailored differently. Right now, I have an idea for a coat based off of a dream that I had that led to something prosperous for me, right? I want to
Wow.
bring that coat to fruition. How can I do that if I don't have the seamstress? I can't sew, yeah. But I believe in outsourcing.
Yeah.
There's also a demand for us to do our own roles. Independence going to have to be the way that we go. And so Hollywood, or Hollyweird, as I call them, wakes up. Right now, I'm planning a documentary about the history of New York, and a foundational Black American from Connecticut is going to help me. Right. And so sometimes we have to understand that we are the supply for the demand that's out there. We don't want to see a Haitian girl, as lovely as she may be, play Sarah Rector anymore. We
Right.
damn sure don't want to see Cynthia Erivo playing Harriet Tubman. We don't want to see her, and I know this was a rumor, playing Shaka Khan. We don't want these folks playing in our heroine roles. And a lot of times they were anti-Black American anyway. Why are they getting these roles?
Exactly. That's
Right?
cyber fakes.
Yes. And our lawyers. So I want to give y'all, so my child is bi-ethnic, right? But if you're an original foundational Black American, been around since the ethnonym was popularized, you understand that with a foundational Black American parent, that they could identify as foundational Black American. So we go to a dentist in April 2025, and the dentist dislocated his jaw. My son is grown, and we have been looking for dentists, like lawyers, and we can't find one. So I want to know, where are our lawyers? I'm starting to think there's a medical wall of silence, like there's a police wall of silence. The dentist is Indian. And one thing I noticed, that this is my anecdotal experience. One time, an Indian provider told me, "Why are you complaining about pain? You're so tall." But if you understand that statement, you understand that throughout history, they said Black people, meaning Black Americans, we had a high tolerance for pain. That's medical apartheid.
Yes.
That's medical racism.
Yes.
And we need the lawyers, right, to step up and start taking some of these cases. We're going to get reparations, but in the meantime, we still have issues that we can actually win compensation for, change laws for now, but we need the legal expertise behind us.
We have an incompetent legal class. Jason Black said it best, and I was hoping my dad can get on here at 9:30. I text him, and he's, because he feels, he don't want to really be on camera unless he can do it a certain way and be perfect. I'm like, just tell you a story. I'm gonna tell you a snippet from my viewpoint, my vantage point. My dad worked for he was a licensed plumber, one of the only Black licensed plumber in the area. Journeyman plumber for this company. In the span of a week, he was electrocuted twice. They were doing a new build, new construction, and he experienced enough and knows enough to say, hey man, because when you work alongside electricians, carpenters, etc., etc. Hey man, are the wires hot? That's jargon for, is electricity flowing through these wires, so I can know to be extra careful. The electrician, which was Latino, this is back when they started to flood the gates for Latinos into construction. Oh no, they're not hot, they're good. Now, prior to this, they've always had a problem with my dad, because the foreman was always some white dude, one of them. How you doing? One of them, the guy always got spit tobacco and all that stuff. And what they would do is run hours. For those who are in trades, they know hours is basically you get a certain amount of time to do a particular task. And my dad would complete about 40 hours worth of work within an 8-hour shift. Toilets and stuff like that, because he's like, son, I work smarter, not harder. I gather everything I need, put in my bucket, grab all my tools, make sure it's my tool bag. I go. When I start the job, I ain't got to stop, walk, go get something else, come back, get something else, come back. A lot of wasted movement. So he run his boys' hours. They do maybe 20 hours a day. My dad was knocking out 40 hours on average. Mind you, this is another thing with Oklahoma. Most of them were from Oklahoma. I was from Oklahoma, and I'll tell you something about that in a second. But he would do, knock out about 40 hours of an 8-hour shift, and then he also work overtime. So they didn't like that. And like he was out working them white boys, them my boys, they come from Oklahoma, them good boys, good fellas, the good fellas. They also didn't like that they had to use his license to submit to the city for permits to start new construction, because you have to have at least one person who is licensed by the state to submit for permits. And they had to use this Negroes, this FBA brother. So that chap they hide. So I believe that they want to hurt my pops. They really want to kill him. They want to get him out of there. And so he's working, he's doing his work, you using good tools, they're metal. Metal, electricity, and the human body don't mix. So he's working, he steps back, his tool hits the open wire, it's holding him. It's a low current, low voltage, so it's holding him. Type of electricity, right? And this is the type of stuff that can slowly cook you. But my dad, strong guy, former military, yanks himself off of it. He wills himself off of it. Now, this is in the 90s, where he felt that, it happened. Maybe I should have been more careful, whatever. I'm not going to report this. I'm not finna, go to the hospital. I got a family to provide for. I think it was a Tuesday. A couple days later, it's Thursday. He's working. He wants to do, hey, man, on the wires hot. Oh, no, they're good. They're good. Okay, whatever. So he's working. I think he had his pickaxe. He's working. He's picking, boom. This time, the electricity hits him, knocks him back. He's disoriented. He's dizzy. They didn't call an ambulance for him. They didn't call 911. He's like, F it, I'm going to drive myself to the hospital. Well, he's disoriented. My dad had 1983 Chevy Impala, Burgundy. It's the box Chevy. For those who want to know, the old school box Chevy, called the Big Red. Had the front bench seat. And he's trying to drive himself, but he's disoriented. You get hit with that much electricity. Our body has electricity running through it. So now your signals and frequencies are messed up. You can't really drive yourself like you need to. He pulls over to 7-Eleven. This is back when payphones were still a thing. He tries to call my mom. As he's trying to call my mom, the dude who's working on the telephone poles. Yeah, the telephone poles at the time. He's not paying attention to what he's doing. He still has cable wrapped around the pole. He pulls off in his work truck. It snatches the bottom of the pole. Hits my dad on top of his head. He's laid out 20, 30 feet from the phone. Is when he comes to. They finally call an ambulance. Get him to the hospital. What happened then was he couldn't work because he's on disability. He had to have back surgery because he had 2 discs that were pushed out. Actually, it would end up being 3. They saw 2 discs in his back that were pushed out that they had to take out. And they found 3. He ended up suing, and based on the recommendation of somebody from church, he hired a black lawyer named Timmy White, who I can't find this man's picture to save my life. I've been trying to find this man. I've been Googling him, ChatGPT. I can't find this man to save my life. His name was Timmy White. He hired him to represent him. Got pictures, everything, the surgery, all that stuff. This case, we should have got at least this is back in the 90s. We should at least got $400,000. Easy $400,000. Light work. This bastard sold my pops out, man. Now mind you, my dad was the breadwinner. My mom, the job she worked was, and hitting nothing. A lick at a snake. He got us $4,000, give or take, because he botched the case. He took a settlement, and what the agreement was, this was not illegal. That's the thing. We got rid of this back. That's why I want him to tell the story, because he knows all the details. I don't remember all the details. They told him, they went to him, hey man, you know, we settled for this amount. We'll give you some of our clients. That's how incompetent the legal class has been for the longest time. And he did that. This is a man with 3 children and a wife. And that reminded me of that Sean Kent character. Hey, I have a mortgage. I have a, and he took most of the pictures of his wife down. I tried to find her, but I've been told she's some white, some type of white. So yeah, this has been a long-standing issue in foundational Black American society, is these incompetent lawyers that are down for a quick buck instead of standing on business and letting the community support. Because my dad had turned around and had to resue. He went and got the Jewish folks, the small hats, and they was able to get them at least $40,000. But because they've already been tried, you can't get the max amount. You can't get the max amount. And during all that time, we had to leave that house that we was in. We had to move next door. You don't know how embarrassing this stuff is to find out that because the house ended up going on market, and Dad, he couldn't keep up with the rent, but the person who owned the house, they now pay their taxes. You know how embarrassing it is to see one of your underclassmen sitting there talking to your parents, tell them, hey, look, we understand what's going on, but you gotta go. Having to move in wintertime, it's supposed to be Christmas. I never cared for Christmas since then. That's the track record of incompetence of the legal class on that, especially on that particular side. They just ain't hit it for. Now, when it comes to family court, you got some bulldogs. There's the Lauren Delory, she's one of them. There's another sister, I can't think of her name off top. That's some bulldogs. And it's irksome because and I shared it with the B1 family on this channel. Old girl down in the Haitian chick down there in Florida, she going hard for her people. She putting up YouTube videos. Hey, this is what it means if we lose TPS. Yada yada yada. Woo, 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 woo. She's reading it down and breaking it down to her people. We don't have that.
They're doing that here in New York too. Yvette Clark, Hakeem Jeffries, members of the Haitian clergy, members of Haitian nonprofits. Actually, before February 3rd, they got together and strategized, and we got to sit in there and just listen to it. They taught them how to get what's that called? Give power of attorney to people, give custody of their children to people. If ICE comes, how they should cooperate or shouldn't cooperate. And then they did this whole weird thing where we have to do another Harriet Tubman. So if I have to hide you myself type mess there. So these people do get together and organize and strategize so that their people don't get deported, no matter how wrong their people are. They don't gatekeep certain things. They gatekeep it from us, of course, but it looks like everybody's gatekeeping something from us.
I know I got a couple friends that actually lawyers. I wouldn't say they're attorneys. And I think what we need to do is, if you know somebody, be one family who's in the legal class, ask them, how come you don't do what the mother folk do and just give us free game on YouTube or Facebook? How come you don't do that? We need to start putting their feet to the fire. Why you don't do that? Why you don't have these symposiums and these little events where you start telling us, hey man, this is what you need to do. Woo, woo, woo. Why don't you? We understand you trying to make part and all that stuff. Cool, cool. But you need to turn around and start kicking us free game. So I told the B1 family, was it Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. HBS dropped off my mom's car from the auction. And I told him how much to charge me. And the reason why I told him how much to charge me, because I turned around and told him, said, this is how much the other folk charge. Now you can undercut them and make more money. Because he was going to charge me way less than what they were charging. I said, no. You can charge me this much. That way, not only you making maximum profit, you're still undercutting the competition. We got to start doing that. That was free game. I don't expect him to, give me a pat on the back. Hey, bro, this is what they doing. This is what I see from my lens. You can't see this part. So since I see this and I have this vantage point, let me let you use some free game. Boom. You charge this much. Not only is it fair, it's more than what you were charging. This is what you deserve. You deserve at least this much. And this also makes you competitive to the mother folk. And now you ain't got a middleman that you got to break profit with. He's like, oh, man, I didn't know that. I said, yeah, there you go. I went to, and I'm sore today, family. I took that core class at the Mayweather Fitness. Shout out to TJ, Coach TJ. Ooh, I'm sore. Young man, I say, hey, man, because he's an amateur fighter. I say, hey, is your Facebook monetized? I say, yeah. I said, man, make sure you got somebody getting all your clips, recording your fight, taking all your highlights, putting them on IG, and also make sure they go to Facebook so they can run them numbers up. You can get paid more money. You get paid extra money. I'm not gatekeeping us being successful. You doing something, it's on the platform, there's a platform pay. This is how you make sure it pays you. Because I get paid on Facebook. I'm starting to get paid like I was. And I'll let y'all know, when you're on a platform, follow them rules, because if they spank your hand 3 times, they're going to show you what it is, what it ain't. You know what I'm saying? I'll divulge this because it's a family. My first check from Facebook when they was pushing me was almost $7,000. Then I got a little too fly. The next one was $5,000 because I didn't feel like I need to appeal, and follow the rules. And then it was $3,000. Then it was $1,000. Then it was $100. And you only get paid once a month. So you can one family, you can make some extra money. Some of y'all got these videos y'all be putting up and y'all stay consistent. You can make the extra money because when it comes to raises, I'm a diagnostic imaging engineer. I work on CT scanners, PET scanners, and nuke med scanners. But I can only get a raise once a year, and that raise never keeps up with the cost of living. I have a family of 5. I'm gonna find a way to make some extra money. And I'm not gonna keep that from you. We got to start doing that one another. And like somebody said, yeah, some people won't listen. 601 native, you're right. But all you can do is give them the game. It's like your children. I can give you the game. I can show you how it works. If you look at it and say, I don't want to do it. You cannot turn around 3 years later talking about, man, you didn't tell me. I'm cussing you out. Not only did I tell you, I showed you. And sometimes that's the best thing. If you give a person game and they don't want to go, cool, they're not ready. They're not ready. Too many of us are not seeing our success because we're trying to drag folk along with us. Now you got to come on, man, because we see the end game. Go. If you see the end game, they can't see it. Go. Don't let everybody suffer. We need more black folk making good money so we can move in politics. Some of these buildings coming up in our hoods, we can buy them out. Because you go there on Summer Avenue in Memphis, there's a place it's gated in, but it's owned by this white dude. They have the kids be out there on little dirt bikes, not even dirt bikes, little pocket bikes. They be out there, they be riding, they be having a good old time, but it's in the hood. Why is it in the hood? Lower taxes. Buildings are cheaper. We supposed to be taking advantage of that. But some of us are too busy holding on to folk who don't want to go nowhere. Leave their ass behind. All right, we got the old folk who didn't want to give us game. Leave their ass out there. We got folk our age who don't want to go nowhere. Leave their ass behind. Timmy White is no longer Black Love. What do you mean by that, Black Love? This just caught my eye when she said that Timmy White is no longer. He's paying for what your father, how he did your father. I still want to know what the Joker look like. I just want to know what it look like. I ain't gonna put no hands on this man. Will I cuss him out? Probably would. But back to what I was saying, we have to leave certain folk behind. These folk are millstones, they're weights, they're anchors keeping us from the greatness of the core. We need the core of foundational Black American society on point. And then we'll exude that majority spirit, and more folk be like, okay, yeah, it's okay to say, hey, mama, daddy, cousin, brothers, sister, uncle, them, auntie, I love you, but y'all cool where y'all at, and y'all don't want to go anywhere. I'm finna go over here and get this right for the next generation. So the next generation can say, hey, yeah, they over here drinking and all that, and smoking and having fun all the time. That's cool, but I want the next generation. I want to be like this, like my cousin. He's fly. He has nice things. When it's time to do business, he's shaking hands with cats who got big names. We're brokering deals. I want to see more of that. I want to be in those rooms. So if I gotta leave folk behind, I will. That's what we're doing with this delineation thing. We're leaving tethers behind. We're leaving agents of chaos behind. We're leaving behind a whole bunch of folk who don't mean it's no good. Leave them right where they stand, and letting them fend for themselves, so we can get ourselves together and we can push forward. We've started creating and inventing these amazing things because we were too busy trying to bring everybody in and hold everything together. Now, and mark my words, FBA babies, oh my gosh, they finna start inventing stuff that's gonna have us saying, how'd you do that? You did it. Yeah, I did that. I was looking, I was thinking, I was doing, and I want to try it, and I did it. Like my son, one of my sons, I didn't know this until he told me. It was like 2 years ago. I'm looking at what he got a simulator. I said, hey, what you doing? Oh, building a reactor. What? Building a reactor. I said, when you start building reactors? He said, well, I downloaded it and I liked it. Oh, really? You just building reactors, all kinds, not just simulator. He's like, I'm building this reactor, and I got it to where it's self-cooling. And he's saying a lot of stuff, and the whole time I'm just like, yep, that's what it does. I don't know half what he's talking about, but the brilliance of our children will start to shine through because we're no longer trying to plug into other people's systems and letting them run the show. I can't wait for it. I can't wait for it. I might not be able to understand most of what they're talking about, but I can't wait for the day where we start reinventing, where we're the reason why the cell phone is around, GPS, game systems, toilets, refrigerators, air conditioning. We have created the technologies that are better this world, and we've stopped doing it because we've been trying to hold on to everything. Man, it's gonna go down. It's gonna go down. I love it. I can't wait to be like, hey, the young NBA. Hey, I'm about the first one. I might not be the first one. I'm about like the 10th one. You know, I'm so ready. But going back to what you're saying, we have to check these tethers and stop all these programs and stuff that pull resources from us, because loans have been whooping our behind. We can't keep doing loans. We need the grants. We need the venture capital. We need other means of resources so we can float and keep pushing ourselves forward. Loans is whooping our behind. They've sequestered us to that because they take all the resources to give to these other individuals, and delineation is putting a stop to that. And remember, be one family. It's in the chat. Let's go up again with our sister. I'm gonna click on the first one, let them know what it is and why they should go ahead and sign it. We got the first link right here.
So that is to address me and Danny's statement of New York being built by immigrants, powered by immigrants, and remaining in immigrant control. That is, the disrespect was loud because he knows who our ancestors are. They are not immigrants. He was actually at the Negro burial ground when we had the protests. Right. So the same way he disrespected them by totally skipping over their history, not acknowledging that they were forced to build New York and the nation at large. Right. He should get on a national platform and address that statement in ways that he's going to move forward with the foundational Black American community. OK, he is pro-immigrant. But our ancestors aren't immigrants, and our ancestors literally have descendants who still reside here in New York. I'm one of them. Sister Keisha from Black Talk Worldview is another one. I've met people who descend from those who were intricate into Seneca Village. We know that Sandy Ground out in Staten Island, which was a prosperous Black town that was destroyed by the building of the Verrazano Bridge, one of their descendants just opened a soul food restaurant over there on the island, Staten Island, of course. So we're still here. We're still making strides. Some of us are subjugated. Some of us may have fell due to New York's, when they was pushing the drugs in our communities, the mass incarceration system. But for the most part, we're here, we're human, we're people, we're foundational, and we don't want to be erased. This isn't the land or the city of immigrants. Do you know, I've been doing so much New York research. I was saying, New York always had boroughs. We ain't have parishes. We ain't have wards. We this, we that. We had a history and a culture of sailing. We had sailors. We had maritime workers. And do you know there is a 15th ward somewhere upstate in New York that was also destroyed by urban renewal? So when you think urban renewal and say, yeah, they built a highway or buildings through our towns, we're forgetting the level of violence that came along with it. New York has some of the earliest documented slavery votes that I found. I'm not very well versed on the Indian Wars and stuff like that, but here in New York, we had the 1712 New York slavery vote, and we also had the 1741 slave conspiracy because they felt our ancestors was going to do something to them. Our ancestors used arson to target certain things and show they were not happy with their conditions. New York has such a beautiful history, and I want to bring all of that to light with my documentary, which should be released by January 2027. Because I have to work. This goes back to bartering, trading, and sacrificing our pay scale to get our history out, preserve our culture, and also to start group economics, right? And I'm going to go somewhere with this, I promise you. So the man who said he's going to help me said he only wanted one thing from me. So I don't have to come out of pocket for my money for him to film whatever it is we're going to film in New York and for him to actually edit it. So that's film producing right there, right? Now, when we talk about trading and bartering, it's stuff like that we need. I was thinking how to get my oldest son into business for himself because he's a security guard that can administer Narcan, right? Do you know a Black American came on the panel and was like, I'm about to get into security and stuff like this. I want to get my own business. So I said, I'll work with you. We have to learn how to network with each other, understand we may give away certain pay scales, but as far as history, Tariq is beautiful as a historian, but Tariq is busy. He can't take on New York's issues, California's issues, this issue, that issue, when he has what's passionate to him, his passion. So if you have a skill set and you see a deficit in your community, start doing your documentaries. I'm going to tie this back into the Asians. We have to start networking and working with each other the same way the Asians do, the Latinos, the Africans, the this, that, the Haitians, the this, that, and the third. So in New York, I've been boycotting the Asians since 2016. Here's why. They protested to keep our children out of elite public high schools due to standardized testing when de Blasio wanted to get rid of the testing because he said that, I don't forgot what he said, but if even by one point, they didn't want our children in them schools. Okay, children aren't good test takers. Some may come from places where, we're not all despondent here, but we may have mitigating circumstances that we just not good test takers, right? They used Martin Luther King's "I Have a Dream" and said it was racist to allow our children into their schools. They also protested nationally when Peter Liang, killed Akai Gurley within 2 seconds of meeting him, to keep that man out of jail, and said they were catching flack for the racism of white cops. They were acting like they don't have a problem with our community. So I started boycotting them in 2016. And this leads me to the lady. Some people may have been like, oh, wow, her delivery. When she said, if you take your asses in them shops, we're not going to fight for you. Here's why. 2016, I started boycotting them. I went natural with my hair, stopped going to get my nails done, everything. I tried to get people on board. They wasn't listening, but I didn't have the power of going viral, right? 2020 with the pandemic, I saw another opportunity to say, come on, Nailtex, we could get a stronghold in the community. So I don't understand why 2026, we are still having to tell our community, starve them out. A business cannot thrive where they are not supported. I don't want to go into 2030 calling for another boycott. Y'all should already be on this train. And here's another bonus for you. If you go natural and you go to the Africans, please pay attention to where they get their hair from. I went to Harlem to get my hair braided. I felt good. I wasn't putting a weave or a wig on my head. And the Asians walked in with duffel bags, and the Africans went to getting their money out of their little bras and their little satchels or wherever they was carrying the money at. It was like a substance deal. They were the the suppliers to the demand for hair. I said, I'm defeating my purpose. And I still went back to the Africans, but 2023, I couldn't take it no longer. Not only are they disrespectful, they are price gougers. Why, if I come to you every 4 weeks to 6 weeks and I get the same box braids, you telling me a different price every time? You be talking English when I'm sitting there talking with you, watching your movies, but when I ask you to confirm the price, you're talking in your language to another African who was just talking English. So I'm not paying people to disrespect us. So we may not like the sister's delivery, but I understand where her angst is coming from. Now, there was people boycotting the Asians before 2016. I just got on the train at 2016 and I'm tired. Every 4 to 6 years, we're calling for a boycott from the same people for damn near the same events. And each time the disrespect is louder than the last disrespectful time. So think about that, y'all.
Well, that's why it's a blackout now. That's why we call it a blackout. And I'm trying to get people to stop saying boycott. And however, it is good to hear certain people, because I shared one sister on the video. She was saying, she was telling on herself, because it's like, yeah, if you don't want to go to a place for like at least a few weeks, but then she tried to hurry up and say something else. Like, oh, no. You're saying the quiet part out loud. And we need the folk like that to say the quiet part out loud, because those are the same folk that's going to turn around and try to say, oh, I've always been black empowerment, and I don't know, and they put hands on me. I ain't gonna do nothing. Like that sister said, no.
I have enough. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I don't want to forget this thought. I started researching, right? Black Nailtex in New York, because I've been clipping them myself for going to the Afro Latinos, but I can no longer go to the Afro Latinos, so I've been boycotting them for about a year. But Auntie Speed, I need somebody to really hook me up, right? Because all I do is a little soak and clip, but I need more than that. So I started researching, and I couldn't really tell. It seemed like they may have been African, may have been Caribbean, but I found one who I'm going to go to for the simple fact that they offer certification. They will teach us how to do our nails for the ladies who don't have time or feel they don't have the skill, they have 2 tiers to them. One is cheaper, a few hundred, and you just learn the basics. The more expensive one is about 1,500, but you're going to know acrylic, gel, nail art, and whatever else comes along with that expensive package. But here's what the men have been saying to us women: y'all got to start boycotting. This is on you. Now, I want to know who's going to help fund those classes. I'm willing to take the lease, but I don't have $1,500, right? I could pay for the lease. But I want to say this. Shout out to brother Eagles fan from TikTok. He says, I really can't do much, but I can help fund y'all, right? Meaning I can help support y'all. So if you need a startup course for certain things, if you need it, he's a printer. He just printed my merch for my nonprofit organization. And I got to tell you, he helped me take a very important media class. And I'm very transparent. As soon as I pay for a service that I told him I'm going to pay for, I send him the receipt, right? And he's done this with other foundational Black Americans that need assistance. And I'm only putting this out there for y'all, right? Because I want to show you that there are Black American men with finances who cares about their community, who can't physically go to protests, can't physically take the classes to become whatever it is they say we need to do, but within reason, right? Because he's a family man. If he makes a donation because you say this is what you want to do, send that man the receipt. And he's not going to be the only one because there's others. I'm just telling you my anecdotal experience with a foundational Black American that I met on this app. And I got to tell you, somebody donated a microphone to me. So when I get one of my rooms set up as similar to what Vic has going on, I'll have the proper equipment. So I just want to shout out our foundational Black American men who understand group economics and understanding that sometimes we got to fund ourselves. Why? Because like Vic said, we ain't getting the grants and the loans. We ain't getting the equipment grants and all of this. We're not getting donations like that. We have to do it ourselves, y'all. So that's a testament to that. And I guess when you're ready, we can finish with your videos. I just wanted to shout out the men and the women who have helped things like the protests come to light, have helped people with their merch and their brand and their merchandising and branding, people who have helped donate for startup costs, for other ventures for foundational Black Americans, and for those who sacrifice a pay scale with their skills and trades, such as filming. Oh, Brother Dredd had helped me do my intro to my YouTube channel, and he also helped me get a song out, very inspirational, called Keep Filling My Cup. So, and he also brought to fruition my dream to co-write or write a song, and he co-wrote and did the lead vocals and arrangement on a tune that I have showed snippets to. I'm so proud of the people that I came into contact, and you too, Vic, because this is very important. This is awareness. This is the first step to combat a lot of the issues that we're going through, and it's also good to show that we work in unison and we do help bring visions, dreams, and strategies to combat the ethnic erasure that we're going through. I'll leave now.
Yes. So is that song on streaming? Is it on available for streaming?
I didn't put it on the StreamYard yet, but if I can pull it up on the computer and show y'all a little bit of the snippet because it is amazing.
Streaming platforms. Is it out? Is it out for?
Right. No, not yet. I gotta find the one. I've been researching them, the streaming sites, and I really don't know which way to go. So Auntie needs a little more help. which is the best streaming site?
You're in the place to be. So I use United Masters. United Masters is it's not fully owned by Steve Stout. It's his baby that he created. I use United Masters. That's how I get all my songs on streaming platforms.
Okay.
All right, and all I'm called sites. It's United Masters. That's Steve Stout's brainchild. And then there's another one called Lander, Landr. They're more intuitive and they're kind of like internet based. I don't know who owns it. So I don't know if if it's Asian owned, because I don't use them like that. The only thing I use them for is for my mastering software. So when I'm mastering the track and I want them all to sound a certain level of volume, so when you listen to the track, it ain't this loud, then this loud, and this loud, then this loud. But that throw the whole thing off. So yeah, United Masters, check them out. That way you can get you on all the streaming platforms. I think Distro Kid is kind of falling off the wayside. People don't really rock with that no more. So yeah, that's the one I use. Now that's this second link. I want to make sure people know what these links are for, so they can go ahead and click these links and get these and sign all these, because I'm gonna do it myself. And you guys know I'm gonna put screenshots in the community tab. And shout out to everybody who engages the community tab. I like to keep you guys informed on certain things. Sometimes I can't put out a video. Screenshot. We're gonna get the screenshot. We're gonna get it to the family so you can at least see it and just scrolling. You know what I'm saying? Because I understand there's a balance. We want to take the edge off of life, because being foundational Black American is already hard enough, but we want to be in the know. So if we can support, we can support. So, sister, what is this second link is for again?
So the second link there is for the water infrastructures of what is historic, or what are historically U.S. freedmen, foundational Black American cities and towns. I found out on a panel, right, with a lady. I couldn't really tell her background, but it came as they'd like to do aha moments. When we're talking about certain things, they said, well, Black Americans don't have water in this and that in this town. And I'm like, well, Flint was fixed. And they told me about, I believe it's Marion, Alabama. They're using a well. And so I started doing a little research of all the towns that we primarily populate or we established. And so this is to get those towns a portion of the fiscal year 2027 budget. And we need more traction on that, just because us as descendants of those who built this nation should not ever be told we don't have, or nor should we ever have to live under conditions of not having valuable water. Right? Of valuable water infrastructure. The town does have a small population, so maybe they're being overlooked. But this email campaign is designed to get them in the fiscal year 2027 budget, y'all. And you want me to talk about this one? This is the stop the global reparations appropriation, and to let everybody know Africa and Caribbeans are not our voice. Yvette Clarke should never be up there, us, we, our, we don't need. Meanwhile, she got funding for Haiti, funding for the Caribbean. She got the Caribbean Count Bill, which is a delineation bill. She is intricate in a lot of things that the Haitians get, because she's head of the Caribbean. We talked about this, the Caribbean Caucus, the Haitian Caucus, and the Congressional Black Caucus. She also created caucuses for media and all type of things. Please research our government and the caucuses and ask them, what wins did foundational Black, what legislation has Yvette Clarke successfully passed for us, and what has she passed for the Caribbean and Haitian? What you see is she gets stuff with funding for them. She's the one who championed Juneteenth. We see how that worked out, because everybody's economically exploiting Juneteenth when we don't want another holiday. Who asked for another holiday? Do you think our ancestors want another holiday, or do they want us repaired and restored?
Yes.
Right? She also championed like the Crown Act. The Crown Act is not only for us. So we don't have anything in legislation at this time, to my knowledge, that is specifically for foundational Black Americans. But the Caribbeans and the Haitians, the Africans, the Asians, the Latinos, right, have things specifically for them that we can appropriate, take ownership of, or participate in. Yeah.
She's the Thanos of tethers. She's Tether Thanos, B1 family. So we got to work doubly hard to stop her. Because her and Joy Reid, they speak French for some reason. Talking about we, us. No, not at all. Now, B1 family, this is the last clip. Make sure you go participate and sign those. If you can't sign all three, sign one. All right, especially the one with the water. That's something that's really, really important. Because one thing I noticed, and then we'll get to the last video, the last clip I have, is since moving here to Memphis, that XAI, those damn data centers, have fundamentally changed the way the water is down here. We're starting to have more calcified water. When I first moved here, amazing. Boy, you take a shower and you're like, oh my gosh, I feel rejuvenated. Now it ain't the same. It ain't the same. So we got to work doubly hard and overtime to stop these folks. We got people with other interests to line their pockets at our expense, and we can't keep letting it happen. Not at all.
Y'all have indeed convinced me. Black folks shouldn't be boycotting anyone. No one at all. You know why? Because boycotting insinuates that we have something to go back to. That boycotting will stop at one point, and we will return to the way things used to be. And no, boo, it is not going back to the way things used to be. It is, in fact, Black Music Month, y'all. Like, come on, Juneteenth is 2 weeks away. What are we doing? This is the time we should be doing this anyway. We should be supporting each other anyway. It should be all Black everything anyway. There is no boycotting if you don't plan to go back. And listen, this is not hate to any other community, okay? We're just saying that y'all do y'all all the time, and you're praised for it because you should be, and that's great. And now it's time to do that for ourselves. It is time to build up our own community, to prioritize people in our communities who have their own businesses, who have their own restaurants, their own services, their own everything, because they always have. But because of the barriers the system has set up against a lot of these people, it becomes hard to carry that out. And then you also have other communities who have monopolized certain industries and not contribute to the community from whence it came. So no, there's no need to boycott when that is no longer considered an option for you. Even if it costs more, support your Black neighbor, Black grocery store, Black resources. I know it's hard, I know it's tough, but if we rely on each other, this can be possible. That's not to say that these other folks don't deserve business and they don't deserve to be supported. We're saying that they should be supported and uplifted by their own communities, in which they have been. It's just the thing is, we have also supported and uplifted them as well. Unfortunately, that hasn't necessarily been returned back to the Black community in the same way. I'm saying it's time for us to start taking care of us, because we are the only ones who will. Remember, we're not boycotting. We're just putting ourselves first by supporting ourselves first and foremost.
I love it. 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 Oh, I love it. That's what we're doing. That's the move going forward. I remember when Jeezy first started dating Jenny Mai, she would talk about how the Asians and the Black folk, we work together. Like, you know, Black folk or Asians can go in Black communities and have business, and you can come shop with us, and then, you know, but then you can come to our communities and you can come shop with us. And then when she said that, I was like, bitch, that ain't equal. That ain't, what is that? But that lets you know how they think and how they've always thought. And unfortunately, it took our child being taken up out of here for a lot more of us to realize, hey, all right, that's something serious. That's not cool. So going forward, we are doing the blackout. And somebody asked about a shirt saying blackout, and I've actually thought about the shirt. Now I got to bring it to, like you said, BX. How do I bring that to fruition? I might have to work with somebody. Big One family. Like I said, I'm gonna continue to share it. When I see Black-owned business, I'm gonna continue to share everyone I see. All right, now if you see somebody in there, because I think shout out to I forgot what the channel is on TikTok, but they've called out somebody who's a Caribbean trying to cosplay as us, and I'm gonna share that too, so you know not to get tripped up. We got to share our businesses that are solid, share the ones you may not know about. We're gonna put everybody through their paces. We're gonna give every FBA business an opportunity to thrive. But I'm gonna say this because I'm a very staunch individual when it comes to the quality of your service. I have done many a review. You can check my track record. I got not thousands, but I got hundreds of reviews from restaurants to usable products to consumer goods. I've used just about everybody. If your quality of service is BS, we calling you out and we getting you about there because you wasting space, time, and we can let that be a business or a brick and mortar for a Foundation of Black American business that's about something. All right, you're not going to make a quick buck selling subpar product, serving subpar food, and then trying to use, well, I'm Black, ain't I? Nah, that's dead and gone too. We're going to treat you like a tether. We're shoring up our ranks. We're closing ranks. We're closing the circle. And only the solid ones have to remain. We got too many flaky individuals that like to sit. And I'm finna be kind of crass. These next to me niggas. It's like, why you always next to me, nigga? You ain't doing nothing. Why you always next to me? We got to get rid of them. I don't care if it's a woman. I don't care if it's a man. Because they're using our resources and we're not getting nothing back. We're not getting no return on our investment. Everything going forward, we got to go hard body on everybody. If you see me doing some off code behavior, call me out. And if I give you some shucking job type of, look, man, you have to understand, you cut me off immediately. Divert those resources to somebody doing something. We have no room for error going forward. We saw the past. We saw, and I talked about this before, and I'm saying it again, Eastern Church of Christ, and I'm going to name it. You go to Eastern Church of Christ in Fort Worth, that neighborhood right down the street from them was all black folk. That neighborhood now is all Latino because them old niggas that were HVAC, carpenters, electricians, plumbers, etc., was too concerned with going to Sawgrass Steakhouse on Sundays and driving Cadillacs and Mercedes-Benz. They never put that back into the community with those young men. But then the same folks talking about, look how bad they is. They don't want to listen. You niggas ain't trying to teach them nothing. You ain't trying to tell them nothing. You ain't trying to put them on game. And I'm learning because I'm doing it. I'm going out my way. Young cat across the way from me, because I keep in his car. I couldn't stand it no more because every time I crank it up, ooh. Hey, young brother, how you doing? I think you started going out. Man, I was wondering what that was. They don't know. And if you approach and don't come over there with that, what you doing wrong type energy, you come over there respectful. Hey, young man, let me talk it up with you, brother. That don't sound right. They're apt to listen. Will they move on it? You can't control that. That's not your place. But you dropped the game on them. And every time I wanted to see a young man, hey, let me holler at you. Hey, man, you're starting, Now, he was supposed to get with me yesterday, but he, life happened, busy, whatever. If I see him today, hey, OG, man, can you show me? Cool, I'll show you. I got time, I'll show you. What you going to charge me? I'm going to show you how to do it. You need to know how to do it. That way you won't get swindled, because I think they gave him a used starter and probably charged him a couple $100 to install it. So I refuse to repeat that going forward. I'm not going to be the old nigga that you see me. I'm getting motorcycles. I'm getting cars. I'm dressed up nice, but I'm not giving you no game so you can go get your own. We're not doing that. If you got anybody in the community doing that, we need you gone. We need you out. You're a pariah. If you over here faking the phone, we need you gone. You're a pariah. We finna treat you like persona non grata going forward. It is too much at stake. We're losing too many young people because of step and fetch it, Sambo ass Negroes being in the way. All right, we need more BX the gatekeepers. They're going and getting the history and then putting it on all platforms. This is not her platform. She shared it to a platform. Shout out to her. I didn't mind her doing it, but this is not a platform. And she don't mind bringing the information over here. So I don't mind, hey, she's streaming on her stuff. Twitch and YouTube right now. That's how we got to be. No more, man. If I let him have, I ain't going to have. No, there's plenty of us doing it, man. There's plenty going around. We can all eat. Quit being selfish. Unless you're practicing righteous selfishness where you're protecting your mental, social, and economic capital. As Foundation of Black Americans, we have to do that. That's an integral part of delineation. We are protecting ourselves from all these bad actors, whether they're foreign or domestic. We are engaging in a blackout, not a boycott. We're not coming back to these folk. We never needed them. We got lazy because of convenience. And the only thing that's gotten us is our babies taken up out of here. Too expensive. We are going to get our anti-Black hate crime bill because we are the most unprotected group there is. For every man, woman, and child that is FBA. And we getting our reparations. Because it's a high time that they pay the debt that they have owed us. And we are beyond needing repair. And with that, B1 family, I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate our sister BX. Make sure y'all sign all those links. Hit all those links and sign everything. Everyone who's ordered this shirt, all the shirts should be coming in Monday, and they should be getting shipped out no later Tuesday, Wednesday. I will be contacting you and make sure you get tracking information. Until next time, peace and Black empowerment. And it's FBA all day.